And one, we are live. I'm your host, Damien Ross, along with my good buddy, George Hutchins. And welcome all you lunatics out there as we stream on Facebook and YouTube. God, there's a lot of nonsense going on today. George, how you doing up there?
You know what? I'm not too bad today, actually. Just, enjoying the fuck show that is COVID.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yes. So we are thrust again in the midst of the COVID.
Yes, more recommendations for non-essential international travel and
Yes,
just all kinds of good nonsense going on.
Right. And Kip is just checking in. What's going on, Instructor Marsh? Just want to give a shout out to him. And yes, so we are watching as everyone gets sick this time of year. That's the reality of what's going on. We didn't last year because nobody was fucking even near each other. So, in New Jersey, I'm shocked we're still not, we don't have a mask mandate or anything like that, unless we're going to like a school, like my son's basketball games, and he's starting varsity. So, yay.
Hey, speaking of sports, let me tell you. So they just announced here again for the second time that capacity is being cut back to 50% for all of our sports teams and everything. So we might actually have some like less violent fucking videos now. To
nice. Speaking of which, there was a convention in Atlantic City where basically mortgage brokers just got into an all-out brawl.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, it's great. And we're going to show this to you. I guess they don't know it was at essentially what happens is it's at a mortgage company event. So it was a realtors convention. And let me just share my screen. And it was so these mortgage companies, they have these events to, just basically
talk about numbers.
No, they bring in their realtors and they try to get business from them. So, okay. Apparently, like, Sharks and Jets, another mortgage company, kind of jumped in there and started, talking to they started interacting with the one mortgage company. And most people think these guys are like bankers. They're not. They're like, a lot of them are ex-athletes and meatheads that got into the mortgage company because there was easy money back before. You remember when everything crashed in 2007?
Yes.
Okay, before that, if everyone saw The Big Short, right? I don't know if you saw that movie. It was very good. So again, the people it was attracting were guys who were like, at one time, I don't know, nothing against like personal trainers, because some guys that are very successful that do this, but guys who you would normally not think to be like a finance person would get into this business and make ungodly sums of money, basically writing no-doc loans where, they would just take anybody with a signature and a pulse.
Yep. And
they'd finance them. So all these guys were making money hand over fist. And back then I'm like looking at these guys, I'm like, how the fuck? I can't figure it out. So anyway, so this is what there's a lot of these people like in that business. So I don't know, not the stereotype, but I will. And because that's just what it is. Welcome to Jersey, and this is where I live. So let's just
Jesus.
Oh yeah. It's like all in. That's a chair. That's a chair. Yeah, man. Holy crap. Crazy.
Do they only have like one security guard there?
Yeah, I'm like, it's no, and the cops, dude, you're on your own.
Oh, look at that.
So you see like a lot of big kind of guys. you know, athletic looking dudes,
Yeah. Wow.
fighting. So the upside is, nobody pressed charges. So, and I'm cool with that. That makes it okay. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, look, I mean, you pay for the damage, whatever. You're gonna get in a fight. You're gonna do some, meathead stuff. Okay, just don't, point fingers and all of a sudden, start, suing people. Like, nobody was seriously hurt. Again, the point being, you're at these things and you never know, right? You're going to you're going to a convention.
A mortgage convention, yeah, you're not
in
expecting
Atlantic
an all-out
City.
fucking brawl.
But what happens is these things a lot of times turn into like bachelor parties, which means like, you got a bachelor party. We were doing the strip club thing, not dancing, security.
Yep.
They not that there's anything wrong with that, but they you get bachelor parties, right? And what you have is, the guys that a lot of guys, one, they don't go out a lot anymore. Two, they're all together. They're getting the band back together, so they're all amped up, want to take on the world, and they see their old buddies and they start feeling frisky. Add like hot naked dancers in the mix,
Yeah.
and it just adds a whole other thing. I mean, normally on the day-to-day, life in the dance club wasn't that, busy like that. But when you got a bachelor party, so the first thing you do is you talk to the guy, the best man, or the guy whose name is on the credit card.
Yes.
With that. And what we would do is like, look, if there's a problem, I'm going to come to you first and have you talk to somebody or make them aware. So you're gonna get the first, like, right of first refusal on this.
Yeah.
Right. If that doesn't happen, then we're gonna go talk to them and they don't stop. I go, then they're gonna be gone. And then, that's it. I'm like, and then, we'll just, if things get out of control, we'll just shut everything down.
Yeah.
They rarely did. But sometimes you get like the best man would be having more fun than the groom. So then it would be whoever is the voice of reason in that crowd is who you want to talk to, because me coming up to them and being like, hey, cut the shit, may or may not work. But their buddy coming up to them being like, dude, you got to stop or we're going to get thrown out. At least you'll get their attention. At least they'll get their attention a little bit quicker. Unless it's something like blatant, then it's just like you're freaking gone. But again, interesting business. Because then you also, on the other side, you've got the girls who are trying to do what they can to make as much money as possible, and they'll be willing to bend the rules as well. So, then you got the girl who doesn't get what you thought she was going to get for something she did.
Yep.
And
making phone calls to angry, pissed off guys who
yeah. Or right. And then, so then that was like, oh, he grabbed me. And then you have to go up and be like, sir, and he'd be like, I didn't. She wanted blah, blah, blah for blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, okay. They can't do that shit. So, and who gets, after a while, whose reputation gets what and so forth and so on. So, another awesome news item. I don't know if you saw this. Did you hear about the 48-year-old woman who she stole her daughter's identity?
I heard something about it, to go in and I can't remember exactly what it was that she went and did, but yeah, it was.
She did it to go hook up in college.
Nice.
Yeah, look, I got to tell you, I feel
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of cougars that could go out there, hook up in college without fucking stealing ID. Like, I'm not.
But look, I mean, honestly, she didn't just do it for like a semester. She did it for like 2 years. And I think this woman, I don't know. Here she is. I'm like, I don't know. I think she should get an award. Like, this is like a victimless crime. I mean, granted, okay, so she stole her daughter's identity, but she didn't run up her credit score,
run up cards, yeah.
That she wanted a little college D. So, she went to class. She even had a job. She was 48 years old. and I can't. Yeah, she started seducing unsuspecting men in their 20s. I believe they were suspecting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just don't think they care. You know, she quotes, everyone believed it. She even had boyfriends and that believed she was 22 years old. The chief of the Mountain View Police Department said to the New York Times, there's filters are a killer.
Yeah.
But
That's the yeah.
This was reported in the in the Post. She completely adopted a younger lifestyle, clothing, makeup, and personality.
Her own Snapchat account. Wow.
Yeah, right. I'm like whatever, man.
This woman's awesome.
Yeah. Again, it's hard enough some of the guys getting laid in college. So, whatever. I don't I just thought, that was like, I never thought if identity theft could be a good thing on any level. But yeah,
well, kudos to this creative bitch.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm like, I gotta tell you, I'm like, some guy, again, trying his best. I mean, she's not taking, let's face it, she's not getting like, the top tier guy. Right. She's getting a guy that's, he doesn't have a lot of options.
Yeah, captain of the chess club, right? Oh, no offense to anybody who plays chess.
Right. But I feel what you're saying. But, right. I mean, not even nothing. Guy just going there trying to, I mean, he's just not, shit's just a little rough for him. And, he ends up, finding him like, God bless you.
That's right. That's a great public service.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, again, she had she was working in like a local, I don't know if it was a bookstore or something like that. I mean, she had a job, an apartment. She was living with somebody who thought she was going to college, like another couple. Why not? Like, she's probably like only like, 10, 15 years younger than them. Yeah, man, that was awesome. So, wow. Yeah, very happy. It was funny after 2 years of elaborate. Let's just see if 2 years. All right. So, yeah. So then I saw this little item. Oh, that was the one thing. I was wondering if I could use my kid's 529 for that. Which, yeah, I don't know. I gotta ask my guy. Why not? It's going to the college. I probably can. So I don't know if you saw this parachute fail. I'm gonna tell you, this woman is like SEAL Team 6 shit.
Okay.
So apparently her parachute, it got tangled up. And she's somehow trying to manage to get free, only to immediately become tangled in like it looks like 100 ropes. She basically glided to the ground. Yeah, man, I can't. I'm just gonna play this video because this is like, it's crazy. I just this is why I don't, parachute at all unless I have to. I'm like, I could static line shit, but like this stuff. All right, let me get my share going. Okay, good, we're up. Now, if you're watching this, prepare to lose your mind. I can't. Where is it? Okay. All right. Let me just get this. Where are you? Hold on. Let's get this full screen. Let me just take a look at the feed. All right. Should be able to. Let me just see what it looks like on the. Okay, good. We're good. That's where I want to be. All right. Bear with me. You guys are awesome. Okay, here we go. Okay. So it looks like it's like twisted. Now, right now, I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah, look how calm she is at this point.
Yeah, okay, she got it. She's like, okay. And then what the hell happened?
It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god, and look at her. She's just like, whatever. Okay, I got a little snag here. That is the Earth coming at you.
Oh,
Like, what, 1,500 feet per second? I'm like, it just, ah!
yeah, there is no more fuck to than that right there.
Look, where'd all those ropes come from? Holy shit. Look at her. That's a reserve chute. Look at her. How the hell? That is like I'd be making my peace with God right now. My only thing is she's probably not falling nearly as fast as we think she's falling. But yeah, I gotta watch that again. But if I can. But holy cow. She's like, again, man, like, goddamn.
Right here, she's like, see, I got this. No problem. Watch.
Yeah.
Boom. We're good. See?
What? The hell?
It was almost like watching streams of confetti type stuff fly out of it, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, man. She's like stone cold. Holy cow. Again, you wouldn't be able to see the camera because I'd be pissing myself. And it'd be all over. I mean, oh my God. Again, like, not a problem.
I love that response. What the hell?
Yeah. I don't understand people. I've had people like try to kill me and I walk into fire. This is nuts. This is crazy. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I mean, kudos to her. I can't even wrap my head around that.
Yep, skydiving's just been crossed off the bucket list. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah. So, I mean, you talk about, people who have, they say either, you kind of either got it or you don't, and that ability to kind of, to not panic, even when the whole world is going to shit. Right. I'm like, this is like, beyond next level stuff. And this is why when people go through like special forces selection process and things like that, that's the person they're looking for.
Yeah.
The person that's not going to, lose their mind, when, all looks lost and just continue to work the process and go through. I'm like, she was just analyzing it. I mean, granted, she's probably not falling at an insanely high rate of speed where she thinks she's going to hit and die. She wasn't free falling because it said, she glided back to Earth and was fine. But still, I'm like, granted, she probably got like, thousands and thousands of jumps under her belt. But, still, that's not everyday shit.
No.
Where we'd be seeing that all the time. But all that stuff, I mean, it's as dangerous as it looks. Like, the guys that like do like the wing flying, with the wing
Off the cliffs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 1 in 9 of those guys like dies like every year. And the guy who invented that died doing that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So some crap is as dangerous as it looks. And, make no mistake. I go, you can check and triple check and shit like that. But like that happens, even though, you can't cut away. Right. I'm like, your reserve, can't deploy. So now what? So, I mean, again, like that woman, she should be, in charge of like, I don't know, whatever hedge fund or whatever you got going on.
That's right.
You will not bat an eye. So, yeah. Another, I don't know if you hear what's going on in LA.
No. What's going on in LA?
Well, apparently, when it comes to police work, like nothing, because they're not allowed to do, they're not allowed to do anything.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, and my daughter's out there, but she's not in LA. She's like north of LA in a suburb, and they'll go in and out. But let's put it this way: LAPD detective compares Los Angeles to the Purge due to the rise. Awesome. Yeah. So here we go. Probably made of a commercial coming up first. Stay with me, people. All good. Looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
How did we get here? The ACLU advocated for Proposition 47, which changed the sentencing guidelines. So right now, you can literally go out, do whatever you want, commit crimes, and you'll be out faster than the officers can finish the report.
And one of the other things that happened is in this Prop 47 is that anything under $995 couldn't be prosecuted.
Wow.
You didn't know this?
I didn't.
So you can go and just steal from a store, but if it's $100 grand, they're not going to prosecute you. So Walgreens has pulled out of LA. They've pulled out of San Francisco, and people can't get the prescriptions filled.
Jesus, that's insane.
Yes. So you can literally go in and just steal, and they won't touch you. They won't. That's it. So it's just, yeah. What the fuck?
And that's a fact.
How
many times does somebody have to be arrested here in LA before they stay in jail? It's sad to say, but it's almost safer to hang out with Alec Baldwin on a movie set than to go shopping in Los Angeles right now. That's how crazy it is. It is so
nice.
I mean, I don't know if that was extremely necessary, but it is funny as hell.
Yeah, way to throw that dig in there.
Right. I mean, Alec Baldwin's like, you at two?
That's right. He's been waiting. He was waiting to bust that one out.
Yeah, dude. He's used that. He's used that. At HQ about a fucking dozen times.
Yeah.
So violent. We're telling people don't visit because we don't think we can keep you safe right now, and that's just sad to say. Well, you'd have to start with the governor. Gavin Newsom. He's advocated with ACLU for Proposition 47 as well as George Gascon, who authored that bill. And here's an interesting twist too. The CEO to Netflix gave $3 million to fight the recall campaign on Governor Gavin Newsom, and that's the son-in-law of Jacqueline Avant, who was murdered by somebody who got out of jail who should have been in jail. So, first of all, you got to clean up.
So let me get this straight. Someone who got out and killed his mother-in-law? Right? So the head of Netflix, from what he's saying, that was his son-in-law. So that may have been planned. I'm just throwing that out there. Insert mother-in-law joke here.
Yep.
So that might not have been an accident.
Up from the top, Gavin Newsom needs to be gone. We need to work on changing these laws back to make it tougher on crime. We need to get rid of these so-called progressive district attorneys. They are advocating for the criminals. It's almost like it's shame on you if you're a victim. It's like it's your fault. That's the way they see it. So there's a lot of cleaning up to do, but
this is something we already know, right?
It's amazing. It's amazing to hear, like being here in Canada, we don't have any of our provinces or cities fucking talking shit like this.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a cop, and he's seeing the day-to-day stuff. But again, you can't candy coat this, because this is, people don't even respond to that anymore. They don't respond to subtlety. They respond to blunt force, right? So that's it. So now, the reality is, this is what we've been reduced to. If you're a criminal, it's freaking good. I mean, there's like 85 people shot last weekend in Chicago. Again, another city with insane gun laws.
Yes.
But of course they're still getting in. Insane.
We need to take back the streets. And to be honest with you, it shouldn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I think we should all want to feel safe in your home, and we should be tough on crime. And that's where it starts. We have to start from the top and clean house all the way down.
I think most reasonable people, agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, how do we get there? And you've got two schools of thought. You've got one, it's, prevent them and stop them. And two is just, I'll just let them take it. The problem is with the let them take it is that you're dealing with, they think someone is hungry and they're stealing bread, and they're not. I mean, if you're hungry and homeless, there's places that will feed you. I mean, look, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they're not stealing bread and groceries. They're stealing, electronics and luggage and jewelry and non-essential things. So, they're projecting their values and their reasoning onto someone who is simply broken.
Yeah.
So, it's like trying to pet a rabid dog. I mean, that is not the same dog that you have at home. The dog, there's something wrong with that dog. And while, we want to be compassionate, and you should be compassionate up until a point, but, allowing people to, there's people that just, that's how they operate. They, live on the street and have figured out a way to survive by imposing their will on people and taking what they get, what they want. Now that you've given them a license to do that, yeah. What's to stop them?
Exactly.
And as a cop, unless there's like real violence involved, but here you are, you're like, people are stealing thousands of dollars and you're trying to run your business, then you file the insurance claim, and then, next you don't have insurance. And as an insurance company, guess what? You're not going to, your losses are too great in that area. So you're not going to underwrite anything. And now, you're just going to close your business, because how the hell can you stay in business?
That's right.
Well, AOC, is she living with her head buried in the sand? It's ridiculous. All you have to do is just turn on, any news channel. There's even the more liberal ones are showing some of the stuff. They're not showing all of it, but they are. It's like, this AOC experiment was nice. Now it's time for her to go back to bartending and doing what she does best, because she's definitely not a lawmaker and she doesn't keep the citizens safe. And there's people like her and the rest of the squad who are just clueless on what's going on in the United States. There's rampant crime everywhere. And in fact, Los Angeles is like the movie Purge, but instead of 24 hours to commit your crime, they have 365 days to go out and commit their crimes. And that's...
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's holy shit.
Yeah, that's quite the statement to throw out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, and this shit is real. So, you're sitting there, you're saying, again, for the people who are here, we've taken some to a lot of responsibility to protecting themselves, potentially arming themselves against, these threats. But the vast majority of people do not and will not. It's, you want to continue to defund the police. You want to continue to, pass laws that embolden the criminals. You're going to get what you freaking deserve, and you get what you freaking vote for.
Yep.
And it's, it's funny. You've got like, and I get what's happening, because you see very smart people. I know very smart people who are on the left, and they've been taught to believe, and I would imagine the same is happening on the right, is that each of the extremes been taught to believe that everyone on the other side believes like these insane. These guys thought I was like all down with what the fuck is it? QAnon and the Proud Boys and shit like that. And I'm like I don't even know. I wouldn't even know the first step about getting involved with any of these things. And two, I'm too goddamn busy.
Yeah.
I care about, the people around me. I care about my community, my family, my community, my friends, my business. I don't give a shit about, this other stuff under which I don't have any control. And no matter how much I post a meme, just making fun of the other side, I'm like, why don't you start posting like solutions? It's like, you want to continue to complain about shit, and it's like the person that comes into a meeting and just pointing out shit that's wrong with everything.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, asshole, what's right? What can we do? Well, I don't know. Well, shut the fuck up because you're not helping. I get what you're saying, but now it's like, we need to move forward and think about what, and your answer, just not that, is wrong. It's not helping anybody. You need to, like, if you're going to put all that energy into complaining, you should put all that energy into, at least part of that energy, into solving something.
Yep.
So let's see what.
That's how it is right now in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. Well, they call having bail, making it a criminal offense to be poor, is what they're saying. And they call it racist. Do you see people stopping at the grocery store and doing smash and grabs, grabbing milk, meat, cheese, and everything? No. What you're seeing is that they're going and getting Rolex watches. They're smashing jewelry stores. They're going to Louis Vuitton stores. And these so-called celebrities and other politicians that are so far on the left, they don't want to admit they were wrong. And so they keep their head buried in the sand. But here's the interesting thing. But everybody wants to be liberal until they get robbed or shot. And you see how quick they change their tune. And that's what it's going to come down to. I just want to say, the ACLU, they're the ones, they're the partner in crime for the suspects. And what we did is we created a national database. It's aclu-watch.com. You go there, you click on your state, and you'll see exactly how the ACLU is helping the criminals succeed and how to stay out in the streets and commit crimes.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, yeah. Welcome to the Terror Dome,
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, man, that's what's going on. I mean, right now, Keith Canone, who handles our marketing and stuff, he's moving from California to Florida. He's done. He's done with what's going on now.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's what happens. I mean, people vote with their feet. You're going to continue to do these things, and you're going to continue to hamstring people. It's like, even look at the shit that happened with Kyle Rittenhouse on the level of, you have someone who has a weapon, and the guy's not pointing it at you. He's trying to escape, and you're brazen enough to go up and grab the weapon. The mentality and the lack of, I guess I would say, respect, the thinking that, there's just a whole thought process there that this person who's running away with me with a weapon, I'm just going to go take it from him because I can, because I don't want him to have the gun. The restaurant last week where they saw the cop and the cops had firearms and they asked them to leave and didn't serve them because of the gun. Like, this is like, it's a bizarre, but it's like, we don't want to see the gun because it scares us. But then in the same breath, we're going to go, grab the weapon, because we don't want you to have it. I'm like, just, there's some weird connection here. Again, two totally separate, instances. But yeah, I don't know, man. People, you gotta, like, this shit's gotta, swing back the other way.
Yeah, people are just fucking batshit crazy right now.
I know. I mean, and it's like, it's important to kind of like, I don't even listen to the news. I hardly go on social media. Right. And, when I look at this stuff and, I'm like, I'll try to seek, I've got like I listen to like podcasts, and I've got my like left of center podcasts. I got my right of center podcasts, and then I've got my wellness ones, and some of my tactical training ones that that's where I get my information from. That's where I spend my time. Because the news is just like a freaking podcast anyway. Right. I'm like, they don't give a shit about, what's real and what's not real. I mean, look at with the ivermectin with Rogan and, they're still calling it a horse tranquilizer, and it's been prescribed to like literally billions of people. And, most veterinarian medicines, about 80% of them start in, start with human treatment and then move over to, the veterinarian, world, I guess. So James writes, yeah, it's it's driven by ignorance of firearms, and armed society is a polite society. Right. And that's exactly right. And, again, I just, this is, it's simple, but it's true. I'm like, you have respect for one another. You know that this can escalate. If you know that something can escalate into life and death, people who don't have an experience with firearms think that you would automatically just grab your gun and shoot somebody. Yep. I mean, it's very unnatural to kill another human being. You can go back to like World War I, World War II, where like, the hit rate or the willingness of a soldier to actually pick up his fire his weapon, the percentages were like insanely low. Like 10%, 15%. And that's because they started to work on, they were shooting on like round targets. When they went to silhouettes, it went up. But even in like Vietnam, most of it was just shooting into the jungle, because you couldn't, it's very thick. You really can't, see, what's it? You hear movement, you make contact, break contact. Yep. So, what happens is it's like you're very hyper aware, and anyone who's done any like real firearms training, safety is like insane. We don't even flag dudes. Like, and if you don't know what flagging is, that's like at any moment your barrel crosses anyone's body part anywhere around you. I mean, guys in like, if they're doing like a lot of special ops, kind of training, like guys will get bounced for that shit. So you like really need to, try to, you really like respect that weapon and don't mess around with it. I mean, like you want to like firearm safety, if you want to talk about safety, you want to get bored out of your mind. I mean, hang out with like some firearms guys, like real firearm guys who are into it at the range.
Yep.
It's like, holy crap. But yeah, it's freaking necessary. Totally necessary. So these people that don't have any experience, their only experience is like the shit they see on the news. And then of course, what they see in the movies.
Yep.
Right. Unlimited rounds. You shoot a guy once, he falls down. Most people get shot, don't realize they're shot until until someone tells them. Yeah. You can still continue to fight. I just, there's just like this, again, the ignorance is in back in the day, this was actually before our time, they used to have like rifle. A lot of schools had, rifle and archery, in the part of the physical education. We definitely had archery, didn't have firearms, but, they had a basic understanding of, what a firearm does and how dangerous it is. and then you start, you develop that, instant level of respect.
Yeah.
And so Kip's a little older than us. He had it in his high school. Right. So, some interesting posts on there. Kip also points out that, during the World War II and, definitely Vietnam, most of the weapons were on full auto, and it was something like 20,000 rounds per enemy killed.
Jesus.
Because you got guys just firing. I mean, look, you're scared out of your mind. You can't see anything. I mean, I was listening to a jungle warfare guy give a lecture, and it's like, look, when there's like no moonlight out, in the jungle, he goes, it's just, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's just black as can be, and even to move like 100 yards would take like a day, because that's so, it's like the terrain is just so, if anyone's ever like hiked like really thick stuff where you're constantly lifting your legs, ducking and moving and things like that, and you don't have access to a waterway where you can just go down the river, because that's going to be your clear spot. I mean, it's freaking tiring, so I don't know how we got into jungle warfare, but we did. From
stealing identity to go get nailed at college to jungle warfare. So this is why you need to tune into this.
Right. And on that note, so today I'm gonna have to cut out a little early because my daughter's coming in, and I'm actually going to pick her up, and her flight came in like a half hour early.
Oh, nice.
So this is officially where my Christmas kind of begins.
Yeah.
Because she'll be home, so like the whole family will be here. We saw her in November, but she's out in California, and we're excited. I mean, we're definitely going to be in. We'll be having the podcast because we're falling on like Thursday, so we'll definitely have it next week and the following week. So what are your plans for Christmas?
Yeah, you know what? It's just going to be spending time with family.
Yeah. Now, do you go to your parents?
Yeah, gonna go there for Christmas Eve, spend Christmas morning into the afternoon with them, do dinner. We do that every year, right? So
yeah, sure. Yeah. It's good. It's like we're doing. So we do the night before at our friend's house, and that's usually about 50 or so people, and then we have Christmas Eve, and it's like basically the same crew plus like some family members. So we're having like over 60 this year. My wife and I cook a lot of stuff, and we do the old Italian 7 fishes thing.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Day we'll go by my sister's. And excellent Kip, reindeer night hunting on the 24th. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Nicely done, Kip.
I don't know. I was telling a buddy the other day, right? Because he's, complaining about finances. I mean, who the fuck doesn't complain about finances, right? And I'm like, look, why don't you just tell your little ones that, Santa's not coming around this year. He fucking died of COVID. And
oh, God. Well, look, he's definitely
a pile of money doing that.
He's got like 2 comorbidities. Definitely. He's overweight and he's over freaking 85.
Yeah, exactly.
So just as a note to all you new parents out there, I never gave Santa. It took one Christmas to realize that like Santa gave him the presents like in the stocking, or like he gave him one gift.
Yeah, the socks.
Yeah, he gave him like wasn't a great gift. It was an okay gift, because when it came down to it, we weren't getting any credit as parents. Like, oh, well, no, Santa will just give it to us. Santa, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck that guy. I'm like, I'm like, we're busting our ass here. I had half a load on trying to assemble a Jeep, little plastic Jeeps. I'm like, I'm like, holy crap, man. So, you know what? No more Santa. Santa's getting his thing, He's giving you the socks. He's giving you like, little Pokemon thing or whatever the hell it is. That's from Santa. The dollhouse is from mom and dad.
Yeah.
Because that other crap. Yeah, man, you can't. You can't.
Little bitter there, aren't you?
No, I'm not. It's dude, you'll see. I'm like, you bust your balls, and then all of a sudden some fat interloper gets your shit. That was basically a pagan guy invented by Coke to sell more soda. So, now he's like a thing.
That's right.
You know, I mean, he was conjured up from like 4 different, you know, goddamn things. Everything's made up. You know, so you know the holiday, every religion, everything, dude. I'm sorry, it's fucking made up. You know, somebody put it together and was like, yeah, okay, yeah, they were gonna make these random rules. You know,
that's good.
the only difference is, you know, with the traditional, let's just call Judeo-Christian. I mean, you know, Buddhism. I mean, all religions have like basically the same thing. It's like, you know, don't kill, don't rape, don't steal. You know, like these basic, good, universal, you know, don't be a lunatic asshole rules.
Yeah.
You know, then we kind of moved into, you know, and I'm just thinking of this and then we'll have to end it. You know, we moved into, you know, during like the Vietnam era, you know, where people started protesting the government and questioning authority more. And then they started moving away from, you know, traditional religions, but they started moving into like, you saw Scientology, and then you saw like Yogi. What the hell was it? If you watch the next Tiger thing, there was his name, Swami Shatanananda or something like that. It's awesome, dude. But he had this like whole following down in Virginia. But people started doing that kind of stuff because we have this inherent, you know, a part of us that, you know, needs to believe in something bigger than us. That's just universal. Like God is universal. So God gets replaced. So God got replaced by, you know, like things like Scientology and those other cults. That's why they're not as crazy popular now. And beyond that came politics. Now this is the new God. So politics and science are, you know, these are what people worship now.
Yeah.
And that's why people are so nuts over this shit. And that's why you also see it in self-defense and martial arts, because people have this, you know, need to, you know, want to, you know, belong and believe. So, okay. On that note, we're going to, yeah, Kim, St. Fauci, correct. So, you know, awesome. All right, guys, on that note, I got to go. I got to hit the airport and pick up my little girl. You guys are awesome. George, thank you once again. Of course, we'll be reposting this. And thank everyone for attending. And we will see you next week. Until next time, train honestly.